Balmoral, where we know the Queen has been today. We heard that news a little bit earlier on today that doctors are concerned about her health. And as we're watching those gates at Balmoral, we can bring you the breaking news tonight on 5 News. And I'm afraid it is with great sadness that we bring you this news and tell you that Her Majesty the Queen has sadly died. Her family, including Charles and Princess William and Harry, have travelled to Balmoral earlier on today. And in the last few minutes, we have received a statement from Buckingham Palace. And I know that people are joining us all the time, and I know that this news is particularly significant, and I know that it's probably one of those days where many of you watching us tonight will be shaken by what you've heard because of the nature of the huge part that the Queen has had in so many lives of so many people who are watching us tonight, but also have lived their entire lives with Queen Elizabeth on the throne. And we are reflecting tonight on that news, that we are bringing you the sad news of the death of Her Majesty the Queen. We are awaiting a statement from the Palace, and hopefully we can bring that to you now. It's very short, there isn't much of it, but it is the news that we have been waiting for. It's the sad news confirmed by Buckingham Palace in the last few moments that the Queen has died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. That's just reaching us now tonight at 5 News. And we have been reflecting, of course, on the fact that earlier on today we heard the statement from her doctors and from the Palace who were looking after her. But the news just reaching us in the last few minutes, we'll repeat that for you once again, because it is significant. And it is the news I know many of you were fearing today and probably expecting as well, because of the nature of the way that the Palace have dealt with things and the news that has been coming out from the Palace. But the news we can confirm to you is that the Queen, Her Majesty the Queen, has passed away, and that happened this afternoon. That has been confirmed by Buckingham Palace in the last few moments. So the reign of Elizabeth II now comes to an end. Her eldest son, Charles, is officially now king. Just continuing that statement, the King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. And as we reflect on the history, as we watch the flag at Buckingham Palace, Elizabeth became Queen back in February of 1953 after the death of her father, King George VI. At that time, she was just 25 years old. It's incredible to think how long she's been a part of all of our lives. Her coronation took place a few months later. That was in June of that year, and was watched by millions of people right around the world. There's that famous photograph, which I'm sure you've seen many times. I know that many people will be tuning in and turning on their televisions for the first time and reflecting on the news that we have just brought you, the sad news of the death of Her Majesty the Queen. That's been confirmed by the Palace in the last few moments. And her reign has lasted an incredible 70 years, making it the longest in British history. There are so many things that have happened in this country, so many things that have happened around the world that she has witnessed, that she has been a part of, that she has reflected on, that she has led us all through. She has been a constant for the country during a period of huge change. Her life has been devoted to her citizens in this country and right across the Commonwealth as well. And we're showing you those pictures now from Buckingham Palace as the flag is lowered to reflect on the death of Her Majesty the Queen that has just been announced, confirmed by the Palace in the last few moments. Let's reflect once again on that statement that's been received from the Palace. It's not that long, but it confirms the news that many of us, and I know many of you, have been expecting and perhaps very concerned about this afternoon. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. And Balmoral has been the place where she has been for the last few weeks. It's been where her family have been gathering over the course of the last few hours. We know that Prince William arrived just after 5 o'clock tonight, driving a car which also had Prince Andrew, Prince Edward and his wife Sophie in that car. And Prince Harry we are hoping is also at Balmoral there as the family are reflecting on the life of, yes, she's our monarch, she's our queen, but she's also a mother and a grandmother. And Her Majesty, we know, had an extraordinary life, from a young princess who was never meant to take the throne to the longest-serving monarch of the United Kingdom. What a life, what a reign. She was loved and respected by all those, and she's also helped to shape the royal family as it progressed into more modern times. Well, our royal correspondent Simon Vigart, as you reflect on this sombre and really devastating news this evening, Simon will look back on a life that is nothing short of remarkable.
After a lifetime of them, this was to be her final balcony appearance. The 96-year-old Queen setting yet another record, a platinum jubilee marking 70 years on the throne. After so much uncertainty around the monarchy all those years ago during her childhood, Elizabeth II's legacy was now assured. Here she was flanked by 3 future kings and 2 future queens. Of course, the person she had depended upon for so long was not there. Elizabeth's husband and consort, Prince Philip, died in the spring of 2021. 5 years earlier, this was the Duke of Edinburgh with the Queen on a tour of Windsor. There had been a gentle scaling back of duties, but these things are relative. The Queen remained very busy in her final years. She had broken every record in the book, like that of her great-great-grandmother Victoria as the longest reigning monarch in British history. This walkabout in April 2016 marked another piece of history, the Queen's 90th birthday. The Great British Bake Off fan met Nadia Hussain, the Bake Off winner. A little slice of how the country had changed and stayed the same during the Queen's long reign. With the official birthday in June, the Queen made this speech to well-wishers on the Mall.
I much appreciate the kindness of all your birthday wishes and have been delighted and moved by the many cards and messages I have received. How I will feel if people are still singing Happy Birthday in December remains to be seen.
In recent years, there had been a softening of her image, glimpses of a mischievous sense of humour.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Good evening, Your Majesty.
The Bond girl moment to open the London Olympics in 2012. So how on earth do you top that for a platinum jubilee? Well, by teaming up with another national treasure.
Thank you for having me. I do hope you're having a lovely jubilee.
Tea?
Oh, yes,
Again,
please.
this was a top-secret filming assignment. Most people, including the royal family, had no idea. To be more popular at the end of her reign than she was at the beginning is an astonishing achievement, and she was never meant to be queen. For the first 10 years of her life, Princess Elizabeth was minor royalty. Her prospects were transformed by the uncle she called David. He came to the throne as Edward VIII, but was never crowned, as he refused to end his relationship with the American divorcee Wallis Simpson.
To renounce the throne for himself and his descendants.
The abdication of 1936 sent shockwaves around the world and placed Edward's brother on the throne as George VI.
The king has been crowned, and the peers of his realm have donned their coronets.
After the coronation, Princess Elizabeth practiced the royal wave with good reason. She was now heiress to the crown. Through the Second World War, the teenage princess grew to adulthood. At 14, she showed a sureness of touch in her first broadcast.
We know, every one of us, that in the end all will be well. For God will care for us and give us victory and peace. And when peace comes, remember, it will be for us, the children of today, to make the world a